What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another episode of the First Class Podcast. I'm your host, Joey Bonsanti. Sitting across from me, chuckling his ass off, is Tony Vegas because he cut me off the first time. So here we are. The dust has settled. Round one is over. The Jets have 3 new players on their roster. Tony looks a little bit more sober this morning. The dust is settled, like I said. Tony, how are you feeling after a few domestics out there on Long Island last night at the charity event?
Surprisingly good, Joey. I'm not hungover, so that's great. We got our shout out Mountain Valley. Please sponsor me. You're not going to sponsor me, but that's fine. Okay, I'll kick it off, Joey. Let's just get right into it. We'll go pick by pick. Let's start off David Bailey at number 2. Okay, we wanted Reese. This was a Reese podcast, but he's banned now. We're not going to talk about him ever again because fuck him, and he's a New York Giant. So crazy pick by them, by the way. I cannot believe they took him. They have like a bazillion edge. It seemed unnecessary. But David Bailey, the pick at 2. The best edge rusher in the class, yes. You can watch some tape on him. He is a fucking demon off the edge, dude. Like, the guy can get after the quarterback, no doubt about it. My concern with him was he's a little bit older than Arvell Reese. His ceiling might not be as high. But now that he's the pick, you know how I operate. I'm going to talk myself into it. And
Of course.
And this is just how we work. You can hold it against me. I don't care. This is how I am as a fan, right? I'm a fan of the team. I'm going to root for the players of the team. You know, he's a fine prospect at number 2. Is he a slam dunk? No, but it is what it is. I think he's going to come in. Hopefully you see like 7 or 8 sacks out of him first year. Like, is this like this guy? You took an edge rusher number 2, dude. I can't remember the last time we did this. Like, you think about guys that go that high. It's like Von Miller, like Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson, guys like that. Like, this guy better be our Aiden Hutchinson, at least, right? I'm not going to say Von Miller. That's insane.
Yeah.
But, be our Nick Bonito on the Broncos. Like, that's the comp for him. I think for him to not be considered like a bust, he's got to be like a Nick Bonito, right? And Nick Bonito's a demon too. If he's that, great. You made the right pick. So overall, like, I gave it a B- yesterday. I'm going to stick with that. I think that was a fair grade. It's just preference. Like, there was never an A+ at number 2 here because there wasn't a player worth taking at number 2. Thus why, like, we would rather trade back. If we didn't take Bailey, it sounds like he would have gone 5. Arvell Reese, we didn't take him. He ended up going 5, right? I mean, like, Love and Tate going 3 and 4, like, that was always going to happen. Like, I don't think they were never going to, take Bailey if he felt. So it just goes to show, like, teams weren't chomping at the bit to take either Reese or Bailey after us, and we just happened to be in this slot. So B- on the pick. I think he's going to be a really good player. It's just, I would have chased ceiling at number 2, and they chose the floor, which is, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll preface this also by saying that Tony doesn't know how I feel on this podcast. We haven't spoken at all. I know how Tony feels a little bit, but
now you do.
Yeah, I know that you will come around to this pick. I wasn't kicking and screaming last night, but I was silent for probably 5 minutes straight, just kind of digesting this. And after wanting Reese and seeing the vision for what they could do with him, now let's shift it towards David Bailey, right? And he is a good player. I told you guys that I wasn't going to sit here and kick and scream if they pick Bailey. 6'3", 250 pounds, 33-inch arms. Like, that's pretty damn good. No glove type guy, goes out. He's so explosive off the edge. I think the best word to use for him is violent. He forced 8 turnovers in his past 2 seasons. Like you said, he's like one of the best, if not the best, edge rusher in the country. This whole process, I think, is where the grade gets low for me. And I don't know the exact timestamp, but 10, 14 days ago, it was like a switch flipped, right? Schrager got on Get Up. You had Ian Rappaport. You had Todd McShay. He's flip-flopping every day, but it seemed like there was a tide change. The odds switched where David Bailey was the guy. Now, I'm not pointing and saying this is a different conversation. We're talking about David Bailey, the player. At number 2, I don't really think you could have gone wrong either way. I sit here today just a little bit disappointed because we had a vision for what Arvell Reese would be in the defense. David Bailey What'd you say?
He's banned.
He's banned. We don't say
Like
the name
Voldemort
anymore.
now.
You mentioned Will McDonald too, and David Bailey. This actually raises the question for me. I don't know if you think the same way. Could Will McDonald be dealt just because of the floor raisers that they brought in the offseason and how similar they are? David Bailey's like a souped up version of what Will McDonald is. I personally would like to see both of them. The biggest thing for me with David Bailey is, can he be a 3-down player? Can he be more than just the pin your ears back, get to the quarterback type player? And can they coach him up to be a plus run defender at some point in his career? Not saying year one, but he got better at that as the year went on last year. I'm with you. I gave this a B- last night in my head. And I just hope it works out and the coaching staff can coach him up and the fairway finder safe pick works out and he could show production in year one. So
my beef with it, dude. If he was 20, I'd be all over this.
I know, just a little
He's
bit older.
Be 23.
I know that sucks.
That sucks, man. Like, I hate that. Arvell Reese is 20. That was like a big reason why I wanted, like, I don't like that he's 23.
He'll be 27 by the end of the contract. So,
I mean, if he's good, you extend him. Like, if he's as good as we think he's going to be, or the team thinks he's going to be, you extend him. It is what it is. But fuck,
there's a lot of pressure now on someone like David Bailey, though. You're 23. You've played 4 years of college football. You produced at a high level. You're expected to come in and produce in the NFL right away. At least with Reese, there was some of that, like, he can be coached up, and by the age of 21 or 22, he really starts to hit his stride. So,
yeah.
Hey, we're both a little disappointed, but it is what it is. We can't change it. At the end of the day, no one knows anything. GMs, coaches, fans.
I think it'd be fucking great, dude. Who knows? Like, we're just some jackasses with microphones. Ban podcast equipment.
Exactly. All right. Number 6.
This is where it gets fun, Joey. This is where I might sound a little different here.
I'll let you start. Number 16.
Kenyon Sadiq at 16. So obviously Lemon was on the board at 16. We ended up passing on him. I'm fucking cool with this, especially with how 30 played out. But we'll get into that when it gets to it, dude. I like Sadiq was one of my favorites at this spot for a while. I just didn't talk. I didn't think he would make it there. I really didn't. I mean, this guy, 6'3". If I were to describe this player and you were to ask me the position, 6'3", how much does he weigh? What is he, 260?
Yeah, I think it's around 260. I can check
Runs
that
a
for
4.39. I had the graphic pulled up. It's insane, bro. He's fat. He's bigger than Julio Jones. He's faster than like Jonathan Taylor. Like, it's insane. Yeah. His statistics are insane. He is a freak. They finally did the tight end thing, dude. It's like underrated. They finally did it after 3 years of wanting, Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren. They finally took tight end 1 in the draft. And, you can say, and this is where people expose themselves a little bit. You can say, oh, well, why did you take Mason Taylor at 42 last year? Bro, they're different. This is a different position. Like, whoever the quarterback is in 2027 is going to be like, oh, shit, I have a true traditional tight end in Mason Taylor who's young. He can eat up catches. He's that guy over the middle. He's like Heath Miller type guy, right? Smooth, open, reliable guy. Like, not going to make huge plays, but guess who I have to do that? We have this 6'3", 4.39 guy that can go down. I mean, Joey, this is going to be a tight end slot receiver hybrid freak athlete. He's huge. This is like a compliment to Garrett Wilson. Like, this is what we needed. You wanted that big guy. We wanted Denzel Boston. We wanted, Carnell Tate. We wanted all these guys. They got it in the form of a tight end slot receiver. Like, this is going to be a fun weapon, dude. If Frank Reich knows how to use Kenyon Sadiq, I mean, this could be really, really fun. You talk about age. This guy's 21. He's got a lot of room to grow. This is my favorite pick of the draft so far. I'd give this one an A-. Did not expect him to be here. And I'm ecstatic. I love the player. I do. I don't know how the rest of, the NFL world feels about this, or the Jets podcasters, but to me, my reaction was, they called it the name and I was like, oh my God, like, fuck it. Okay, whatever. I'm all in. This was a good pick. I'm cool with this. I would have preferred him over Lemon, I think.
That's where I was going to start. So you stole the words out of my mouth there. I almost, not that I forgot about him at 16, but when they picked him, I was a little bit taken back because I kind of forgot that he was there a little bit
Yeah.
and kind of forgot that he was even an option. And we had mentioned this probably 3 weeks ago when I literally remember you saying, I'm starting to warm up to the idea of Kenyon Sadiq at 16. It is a pass catcher. He's not
Yeah.
a great blocker, but like you said, he's going to be used on the offense as a weapon. And I think when you start to kind of piece stuff together, we'll obviously add Omar Cooper at the end, but it's starting to look like something that could work, especially for a quarterback like Geno Smith, who's going to push the ball down the field. Now you have options. Now, this is a guy who you get the ball in his hands and he breaks tackles. He's feisty. He's a little bit undersized height-wise. He's 240, actually. I looked that up. He's not 260. I've seen the point thrown around about Mason Taylor, right? They invested a top 50 pick on Mason Taylor last year. Why would they take Kenyon Sadiq? Completely different players. Like you said, traditional tight end. This guy is a tight end, but more of a pass catcher. How we labeled him leading up to the draft was pass catcher. I'm super happy with this. I feel like the ceiling for him as a receiver is higher than what it is for Lemon. So I feel like this is great. I think this is a B plus pick. And a B plus just because he's a tad undersized. He's not like that Carnell Tate, Tyson that I prefer. I really wanted them to get aggressive and move up for one of them, but I don't even think a team would have traded back. So
get the ball in this guy's hands. We finally have a guy. Like, just get him the rock and let him go. Bro, his shoulders and arms are the size of my fucking head. It's insane how jacked this guy is.
I was making the thumbnail before you hopped on here for the YouTube, and I'm looking at pictures of this guy, and I'm like, holy shit.
It's insane. Who's built like that? Naturally, that is insane.
I know.
I mean, just a freak. And, you know, we wanted a pass catcher. We got one, and we also got Omar Cooper, Joey. Like,
yep.
So this is a tricky one for both of us, I feel like, because this is a different conversation. If us talking about Sadiq right now, just now at 16, was us talking about Omar Cooper, I'd be fucking pissed. Okay? I think I would be fucking pissed. I don't think Omar Cooper is a player that you select at 16. I don't think he's that type of prospect. I just didn't see it with him. Now, Omar Cooper at 30 is a little bit of a different conversation, right? Now, again, we have to be real. They took prospects that we were openly low on, right? I mean, Are we going to get on here and sound like jackasses for completely flipping? I don't know, but like us talking about Omar Cooper, like we were talking about him like a second round receiver, which is essentially where they took him. They gave up a fucking late fifth rounder to move up to 30. You get the 5th-year option on him. Look, this is another guy. You get the ball in his hands and he can do things, which is great. He's 6'1". He's bigger than Garrett Wilson. He should be a nice compliment. And what I do think, like, we got to hold ourselves accountable. I think we did underrate his ability to go up and just get the ball. Like, you think about the Penn State catch. Obviously, we all saw that one.
That's the big one.
But there are other games where he mossed guys. Like, he was going up and getting it. So, look, he's not my favorite receiver in the draft, but I think I liked him over Denzel Boston. I think I did. I don't, this is fine at 30. It's a fine second round pick, man. Like, it's technically a first, but we essentially used our second round pick on Omar Cooper. And for that, it's a nice cherry on top, man. We needed 2 pass catchers. They got the receiver 2. They got their de facto receiver 3. I would give this pick, I'm going to give it a B for where it is. I just think at 30, it's good value. It's good value. He very well could have gone 22, 23, Yeah,
I mean, there's some people who had him wide receiver 3 on their boards. I saw that a lot. There was a lot of people high on him, but it's hard for me to come on this podcast. And I'm with you. If he was picked at 16, I would have been very upset, but 30 is a different conversation. It's hard for me to come on here after preaching for the past 4 weeks. You got to double down on wide receivers. You got to go out and get pass catchers. Like I said to myself last night on the drive home from my friends, like, they just picked 2 pass catchers in the top 30. You cannot be mad at that They went out and addressed an issue. So they did what they had to do. They knew that once they picked Sadiq, that job was not finished, because I was not happy if they left round 1 last night with Sadiq and Bailey. I'll tell you right now, I said it out loud. I'm like, they have to trade up and go get Lemon. Lemon went a little bit earlier. I think if he fell a few more picks, they would have pulled the trigger and moved up for Lemon.
My God, imagine Sadiq and Lemon.
that man, that's what I was praying for. But I knew Eagles coming in, swooping him up, was a little surprised by that. That's a different conversation. They have 11 receivers right now on their roster. Thought it was going to be Denzel Boston kind of replace AJ Brown, but this is not an Eagles podcast.
Wrong
right.
team, Joey.
What do you say?
Wrong green team. You know what I did see? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
a bunch of them were pissed off that now that I'm a content creator on TikTok, I get a bunch of other TikTok people. So a lot of Eagles fans were fucking furious that we took Sadiq. They all
interesting.
Wanted him. They're like, the wrong green team. They took him. Now he's got to go and be a Jet. It's like, shut up, bitch.
I think the biggest thing back to Cooper though is, and one thing that we didn't really mention, that he does win a lot of contested catches. Body control type catches.
Yeah.
He does. And this is I don't want to say it's like a lazy, like pro comp, but I really do feel like he reminds me of Debo, but just in a different way. Like not where we're giving it to him on reverses and, screen passes and stuff like that. But just when he has the ball in space, he reminds me a lot of Debo Samuel. That's what I feel. Go ahead.
It's the classic Debo curse. We got to stop comparing our receivers to Debo Samuel.
Sorry. I didn't want to do it. It just, it feels like when I'm watching.
You're going to comp me to Debo Samuel next, man. We'd comp everybody to Debo Samuel. Right. Oh, he can catch and run? Oh, he's Debo. I don't know. I just think he's a little bit more of that, like, go up and get it guy than Debo was.
I agree with that.
Like a running back. He was literally a running back.
Yeah.
I don't think Omar Cooper's that. I see phases in his game. Yeah, I can see it. Fuck, dude. You tell me that we get Bailey and Cooper in the first round, and I'd be like, fuck, that sucks. This is terrible. This was my nightmare first round. But for whatever reason, man, you sprinkle in the fact that we get Sadiq, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of a legit haul.
Yeah,
like, that's a legit. I can't sit here and be mad at it. I cannot sit here and be mad at them getting, because this is a conversation, right? Where if Muji just took Cooper and it's like, okay, that's our wide receiver too. It's going to be Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, Omar Cooper, A.D. Mitchell. That's who Geno Smith's throwing the ball to. It's like, okay, dude, Omar Cooper better be really fucking good if you're going to if you're going to take him, that's your receiver too right away. You're going to give him no time to develop. You're going to throw him right in and expect him to produce, opposite of Garrett Wilson. That's a risky move. You now hedged yourself a little bit with a guy that should have been taken before 16. This is tight end 1, man. Like, I can't poke holes in his game. He's a fucking freak. And now it's like, okay, who's going to be our second pass catcher in this offense? I don't know. Maybe Mason Taylor takes a big step up. Maybe Sadiq's an absolute freak out of the gate. Maybe Omar Cooper's good right out of the gate. I mean, there's multiple guys that can be that now. And it's like, I feel a little bit more safe in the fact that, okay, teams can't just say, oh, we just have to cover Garrett Wilson and the Jets have nothing else to beat us with. Now you have to worry about, Breece Hall, Omar Cooper, Kenyon Sadiq, Mason Taylor, A.D. Mitchell. Maybe he can develop a little bit. I mean, there's guys where it's like, okay, we have to game plan against these players. That's what you want. You want defensive coaches to game plan against your weapons. And I think they have a few guys now that can potentially be kind of game changers. You take them in the first round, you expect them to be game changers. Sadiq can be a fucking game changer, dude.
Yeah, he could be more than just a tight end in my eyes.
Yeah, George Kittle, I think that, like, he could be a George Kittle guy. George Kittle's not tall. Like, you don't have to be 6'6" to be a tight end anymore.
I know. I've heard souped up Sam Laporta, fast Sam Laporta, whatever Will Parkinson was saying, jetpack Sam Laporta. I think in a vacuum of the whole first round, if you were to hand me the card at the end of the night, I'd be like, disappointed in Bailey, okay with the rest. Again, hard for me to sit on this podcast after preaching about taking 2 pass catchers in the top 50. They did exactly that. It's just not like you tell me the wide receiver room. I'm not talking about Sadiq solely, but the wide receiver room, I'm still not feeling great about. but maybe they feel confident they can go out. I'd feel a lot better if they added Juwan Jennings into this room. I really would.
Yeah.
I'm high on Juwan Jennings. Maybe they think someone's gonna slip free in June. That's an option. Maybe they trade. We have no idea now that the conversation shifts to 44 now. We don't have the 33 pick to start off the night, which selfishly, I really just wanted to experience having the 33.
I know, dude.
It's just opening up the night. But I did feel really good that they had the conviction to go up and get Omar Cooper. Like they felt that confident. They were kind of sniffing the board out and waiting to see what happens.
Bills. They jumped the Bills.
Exactly.
We're going to take him at wherever they were. Was it 30?
30 or 31, yeah.
31,
well, the Jets went up to 30, so the Bills were at 31.
Bro, they were going to take him. So finally, they fucking got the Bills. I'm happy with that.
I know.
That was like the known thing. I'm not on Bills Twitter or whatever, but apparently they really wanted him. So you weren't going to get him at 33. You had to trade up.
I agree. It felt good to cut in front of the Bills, but we're going to give our final grades here. I'll start, and I think it's going to be lower than a lot of people think. I had the whole first round as a B minus.
Wow.
More just because of, yes, I'm happy with Sadiq. I think he would have fallen a little bit more. I know you said you were scared he wasn't going to be there. I thought he would have fallen a little bit more. I don't like where the wide receiver room is as it stands today. Like, I'm happy that we added Omar Cooper, but I still feel like there's more to unlock. And obviously, I think the reason why it's at a B minus, if you were to tell me this exact same class, just swap it with Arvell Reese, I'm probably at a B plus. It's just the preference point. It's just the way, and we can talk about this next week, but I want to get into more of how this whole process and I guess just the overall sentiment of what David Bailey was and how he was perceived from the national media. We can get into that next week. I just, if it was Arvell Reese, I'd be feeling a little bit different. I'm completely here with David Bailey. I'm happy, and I'm going to put some sort of trust in this coaching staff that they can develop him into what his ceiling is in the NFL, or I guess his immediate floor. So yeah, B minus for me. Not super thrilled, not super down on it, just feeling really good. And let's see what we can get out of these guys on offense.
Okay, B minus. That's fair. I was gonna. This is tough. People are gonna give this like an A plus, you know.
Maybe. Who's people? Jets fans or just
fans are gonna give this like an A.
The Jets could pick anyone and they give it an A.
We gotta be fucking real. I'm not here to I'm here to entertain you guys. I'm not here to appease to what you want to hear. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B. Solid B. Sadiq, okay, Bailey is a B minus. Sadiq, in my opinion, is an A minus. And Cooper, at his value, is a B plus. So what is that? It's a B. It's a B. B plus, B. I think they addressed their needs well. If you look at it in a vacuum, like if you really look at it, it's like, oh, they took a tight end, the edge rusher I didn't want, and an older receiver that had one good year. Like that's why it's a B for me. But if you look at it at the players at face value, they got the best pass rusher in the country, a freak tight end that can be more than just a tight end. Like I don't like labeling players like that. He's one of my favorite players in the class. This is a great pick for me. And they got a guy that could have very well gone, like he was going to get picked at 31, and the team would have been very happy with that if he fallen there. But we went up and grabbed him, and you know, he just won a national championship. He was the number one option on the best team in college football. So there's multiple ways this can go. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I'm just going to go B. If they took Reese, this would have been an A minus for me.
Exactly. If that's preference though. And again, preference. I also think it would have been higher. And again, conversation for next week. If there was actually no idea who they were going to pick at number 2, I'd feel a lot better if the 30 visit wasn't canceled and all the other bullshit that happened. I feel a lot better.
We gotta put the tinfoil hat back on after my crash out with the goddamn man. You think they canceled it because they were trying to cover their tracks?
That's what it is.
Maybe maybe Schrager. They told Schrager, "Hey, say nobody fucking knows." We'll get like Schrager. I know who he talks to. Maybe they told him to be like, "Look, say we don't have leaks, all this stuff, but you think it's Bailey." Like, it's tough. It definitely seems like it is a leaky building, and they tried to cover their tracks by telling all these big reporters that already knew who they were picking, hey, don't say it's a leaky building, say you have no idea. And just goes to show, man, betting markets don't know shit. I think Reese was like minus 300 at the time of the pick.
They're all just trying to make money. That's what it is. But
I'm never trusting that again. That means nothing.
no, absolutely not. So Friday morning, here we sit. Tonight, pick 44. Will the Jets move up?
We still have a fun pick. We have pick 44. That's a real tangible asset, man. Like,
I know.
What are we thinking? We got to get into that a little bit.
Like a little bit, yeah. I'm thinking they could go depending if one of the guards fall. Maybe. I'm really thinking safety though. I really think safety. I don't think they would take another pass catcher this early again. I think that's done for now. I'm thinking probably safety. It's going to be safety, offensive line, or I could see them going corner if one of them keeps falling. But I'm hoping for a safety. To be honest with you, what are your thoughts? Or a trade back? I'd like a trade back to recoup a third. That's where I'm.
Dude, Jermon McCoy's still there, man. Like, I understand the worry with his knee, dude. This guy, this guy's good. He's very, very good. Former co-host Pat, is a huge Tennessee fan. He is so high on Jermon McCoy. You have McNeil Warren there. You have Denzel Boston. We're probably not taking him. Caden McDaniel of OSU. Zion Young, Cassius Howell, Colton Hood, who had real smoke at 16. Wouldn't be shocked with a trade up for one of these corners, dude. It really wouldn't shock me. Jeremy Bernard, Jacob Rodriguez, CJ Allen's still there. CJ Allen would be a good pick. Wouldn't mind him at all, Joey. They didn't take Reese, so they need an off-ball linebacker still.
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez is there too, who I really liked.
Chase Besantis, Emmanuel Pregnon still. There's a lot of guys they could take. They just AJ Halsey's still there. I mean, there's a lot of talent on the board, man. You have no excuse not to walk out with either a starting guard or backup guard, however you want to play it, a starting safety, or you could get your starting corner here, dude. I wouldn't be mad at Colton Hood at 44.
I know. The knees scare me, but
no, Colton Hood.
I'm sorry. I got you. No, that wouldn't be a bad pick. If they're trading up, I would want it to be offensive line or safety, because the Toledo kid being there is God. I would love McNeil. He would be great. I just feel like he would fit the defense very, very well. But what do you think about a potential trade back? Do you not like the idea of that? Or
no, we don't have a third. I would like that. I would like a third.
Trading up would scare me just because, well, not scare me, but because we had more picks than obviously the 7 rounds allotted for. So I wouldn't be mad at moving up.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens tonight. I'm hopeful that it's going to be something that we'd like. Honestly, though, good point about bringing up the linebacker. Could see them just going off ball linebacker and letting DeMario coach him up.
Yeah, who knows? I just got a text. Thank God we took Olu 2 years ago so we could finally take the tight end in the first round.
Dude, no offensive lineman in the first round. I'm proud of the New York Jets. You guys know, if you've heard me, you can find offensive linemen outside of the first round that are impact players. So I'm good with it, man. And that's a great text. That's a good point. You've taken so many offensive linemen in the first round that we're sitting here and we could do this kind of fun stuff. So, oh my God. Crazy day one. Go follow us on Twitter, First Class Pod. We're all over the place. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Patreon. Of course, Tony, any closing thoughts before we head into night 2 of the NFL draft?
Go out and get another starter. Get 4 starters this year with 3 first-round picks next year. Could be fun.
All right, let's do it. Everyone stay tuned. We'll be back at some point this weekend. Talk to you soon, and go Jets.